What's up, guys? What's going on? Part two of the anxiety and depression discussion. I want to discuss a few things, go a little bit more in depth on what we talked about last time. Doing last time we did seafood. Today we doing barbecue wings, chips. You know what I'm saying? Dr. Pepper. You know what I'm saying? Got my trusty blue cheese over here with my wings. You know what I'm saying? So let's get right to it. Couple of wings right here. Oh yeah. Got these wings and flats out there, John. Put in the comments which ones y'all like better, wings or flats. Get started and open the box. This Dr. Pepper right here. It'll work. These chips. Yeah. And we're going to discuss anxiety. We talked about last time. We talked about how anxiety is a real big deal in the community, and we don't discuss it enough. We don't talk about it enough. You know, we don't put a lot of emphasis on it, predominantly in the African American communities. A lot of the African Americans who grew up, especially around my mom's time, my dad's time, and even a little bit in our time when I first grew up, we didn't talk about anxiety and depression like that. It wasn't, they felt like, okay, you pray, you fast, you read your Bible, that's how you get through it. It really didn't matter, but nowadays it's really a big issue. It's been a big issue for a long time, but I think it's time for us to push more to it, push more on it, and talk about it more, especially with a lot of the stars dealing with it. We're gonna talk a little bit more about today about a couple of stars that's really dealing with it right now, like Tamarabraxton, Nick Cannon. They two of the biggest names right now that's really dealing with anxiety and depression. They really getting bashed with this Black Lives Matter movement, different stuff like that, and they just we just want to brush a little bit on that and talk about just anxiety and depression. Go a little bit in depth, and jumping off of that too. I deal with anxiety and depression a lot. Stuff in my past, stuff I've been through. I actually take medicine for it. And we want to touch on that. It's different kinds of medicines. I got friends that deal with it. They take medicine for it, and they take a different medicine than I do. They're just looking at it from a different perspective than what we've been looking at it for the last couple of years. And just really taking it. I've seen people that's committed suicide, different stuff like that, all because it wasn't taken serious. And what they do is people wait until it gets really, 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 really bad, and it gets to a point when somebody do something to themselves, then they doing the shoulda, coulda, woulda. It's like we should have said something, or what could have done better. What person could we had them to talk to? I know people that could, but it's something that really need to be addressed right now. And people deal with it on a daily basis. I know everybody has some kind of anxiety where it comes to bills, but some people just deal with it in really a real dramatic way. And I'm one of those people that really deal with it in a really dramatic way, because I've been through a lot of stuff I've been through. I'm not gonna go really in depth with it, but there's a lot of stuff in my past, my childhood I went through that really allowed me to have. And I know a lot of people that came to me and told me why you got anxiety and depression? Why you got this? Why you dealing with that? It's not an issue to just throw lightly. It's not an issue to just, okay, it's a demon, you just need to get rid of it. No, there's something that's really serious. When you get depressed, a lot of times I don't feel like eating. A lot of times I can't sleep. A lot of times I sleep too much, especially with the medicine I've been taking. A lot of times I sleep. Sometimes I don't wake up till 2-3 o'clock in the evening. So it's a real big issue, man. And a lot of people don't work. They can't I mean, it's a lot of times I love playing video games, but a lot of times because of my depression, I can't even play video games. Like, I can't even, sometimes, like, I play drums, and I can honestly say I haven't played drums in like almost 3-4 years now, and that's something I really love to do, but because of not just work, but because of anxiety and depression, I ain't been able to do stuff that I really want to do, and like that's a big thing now, and it's something I think we should just touch on today. Like, it's really real. It's really something. There's just like this virus is real, and anxiety and depression, this stuff is really real, man, and it's something that we really need to touch on. We need to get more involved in and get more concerned about, because it's really a big thing out here. And I think people need to really take it more serious. You know, I've been to a point before where I've almost committed suicide and different stuff like that, so it's a big deal. It's really a big deal now, and people need to know. I know I don't normally tell my story like this, but I feel like somebody really needs to know this and really need to see that it's okay. It's okay for us for depression, to have depression. You know, I mean, it's not okay to have it, but it's okay to, allow people to let you know that you got it, because you don't want to be walking around, people know you got it, or you don't tell anybody and you do something to yourself. It's really a big deal and really need to be addressed. How do you feel about it, Stuart?
Yeah, I think you basically said everything. Like depression is out there.
Mm-hmm.
Out there. Like a lot of people can't avoid it, but there are people that choose to avoid it. Like, they make it seem like you don't have it, or if they know that you do have it, they'll be like, just go out, have some fun, you should be fine.
Sometimes you can't brush it off like that.
It's not gonna work like that.
Yeah, it's not that easy all the time. It's really not.
And it all depends on the level of depression you have too.
Yeah.
Everybody's depression is not the same, and everybody don't handle it the same.
Right. And it all depends on what they've been through. Like, people been through certain stuff in their life, whether it's been, just to name a few things, rape, abduction. I mean, a lot of that stuff brings on depression, man, and a lot of people are scared to talk about it, but it's definitely a subject that it needs to be touched on. And that's why we're doing a 2-part series to it, because we appreciate y'all commenting on what y'all said last time, because it's really a big issue. And we just want to, and this page is used for us as a family to address these issues. I know a lot of stuff people don't want to talk about. It really needs to be talked about, and it's a pressing issue, like really, because a lot of people could be saved. A lot of people could be saved and still be here today if people just took this more serious, instead of just brushing them to the side, throwing them to the side, and just letting it go through the cracks. But actually letting people know, like, if you hear somebody talk about stuff they're gonna do to themselves, or you see different letters, or hear them talk about different stuff they're gonna do. I mean, I know they tell you not to tell someone, and they might tell you not to tell someone, but it's better to tell. It really is, especially if they're your friend, whether they're your friend or not. It's a life. You know what I'm saying? It's a life, and once you go, ain't no coming back from that. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing. I mean, I know they say cats got lion lives, but it don't work with people. Once you gone, you gone. You gone. There's a lot of different stuff that bring about those problems. Bring about those different things we go through in life, man. It's just seem like sometimes it's not fair. Life is not fair, just in general as itself, but just to know you got something out here, and just to know you got something that's out here that needs to be talked about. Anxiety in itself is bad, but depression, that's like a whole nother different, like, so totally on so many different levels. And like, it's to a point now with mine wasn't that bad at first, but as the years happened, different stuff in my life happened. My brother passing away from a car accident. different little things. All my grandparents passing away. It's just different things brought about my depression and anxiety. It got worse over the years. The different stuff I held in that I should have just let out. I didn't let it out, and it's just different things that just happened over the years, man. And it's just something that needs to really be addressed, and it's really big in the like I said, in the African American community. They don't want to talk about it, and not saying nothing to also with our with every other race, but I'm just saying with our race, we don't African American, they don't really talk a whole lot about it. They don't, especially when I grew up. Like I said, with my mom and a couple of my friends, where we grew up, they don't talk about it, but it really needs to be addressed, and it really needs to be talked about, because we want more people to be saved, and the more we talk about it, and the more we address it, the more people will be saved, and the more people will feel more comfortable talking about it. A lot of times I don't talk to people. I put myself in a little bubble. So a lot of times I don't talk to people. I can go days and days without talking to people because I feel like people don't understand, and that's where a lot of people are at nowadays, especially with all this stuff going on in the world, and just period. We look at it and like, okay, this is just giving us a more reason to put ourselves in a more bigger bubble because we think people don't understand. And I feel like that. Sometimes I feel like people just don't understand. And that's why and you feel like you don't want to bother nobody, but sometimes you just got to take time and talk to people. But it's a real big issue, and it definitely needs to be addressed. And just like I said at the beginning, we was talking about I was thinking about Tamar Braxton, and how she's going through the stuff she's going through, and the different stuff she's going through. Going off of that, like looking at it, is the way it looks like, the way they say that happened to her on the news. Like it sounds kind of like the whole thing with Whitney Houston and her daughter, and I'm like, man, that's crazy. And looking at how she's been talking like lately, like they had showed a commercial on TV where she was talking about, she was like, I'm not going against those girls on the real. I'm not going against the media. He said, I'm just going against the devil myself. And I'm like, people don't realize she crying out for help, and she crying out, for help and different stuff, and looking at what
she's been crying for years.
Yeah,
Nobody been paying attention.
Right, and people ain't been paying attention to what what's going on. And then also looking at Nick Cannon, man, like looking at what Nick Cannon deal with a sickness. He got lupus, and I know my brother he deal with lupus too. And they stay to themselves. I constantly check on him and listen to what he was putting on, looking at what he was putting on Twitter and all this stuff, man, and all this stuff that happened to him. He felt ashamed because of what he did, because of what he said. And these people that deal with these different things and they try to hide it. He went too long went through a divorce with Mariah Carey. So and people constantly joke on him about that, and he take it and he just push it in, and he move on. But people deal with these different things, and all they do is just push it aside and just move on. It needs to be talked about. Now it's to a point where he's so damaged, like he was thinking that it was just coming from, but it's coming from, he said it was coming from people in his own community, man. And I'm like, we need to get together. We need to get more together, start being more, again, because at the end of the day, these stars make money. Yeah, they make money, they do the things that they do.
But they people.
But they still people. Like
they got feelings.
Yeah, right. They still got feelings, man. And we definitely need to, pay more attention to their feelings, even though they got money and they doing what they doing. But they still, at the end of the day, they still human beings. They still deal with things. They got a past just like us common folks got. They still got a past just like we got. And we just want to thank you guys for tuning in. We want to thank all our subscribers, for tuning in and doing comments and saying the things that y'all been saying. We really appreciate y'all. And
y'all our family.
Oh yeah, y'all our family. And continue to subscribe, continue to hit that notification bell, and continue to share. My name is Papa Slick, this Scorpion.
And Miss Nita Boo.
Right, and we 88 out the gate.
So.
Peace.